Hey guys, it's been a minute. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you for stopping by. We are going to be making freezer meals and make ahead meals, lunch and breakfast meal. It's nothing complicated. In my previous video, in my freezer meal video, I think it's in one of the first videos that I made, or second video that I made. So I've left a recipe on the description box for bagels and rolls, and this is my go-to. I think I use this for almost everything. This is the dough that I use for a lot of my breads. I just manipulate it into how I need it and into how I mix it, and the water that I put in there. But in most of my bakings or my breads, it's the same. So it's basic. It's 8 cups of bread flour, 8 cups of cake flour, half a cup of sugar. It's actually 8 tablespoons. The reason I'm doing that, I wanted to see what could be the quickest way. Instead of me measuring 8 tablespoons, it's actually half a cup of sugar and 2 teaspoons of salt and 10 grams of dry yeast. You can say 1 packet of dry yeast, but if you say packet, some people, I don't know in other countries or how many grams their sachets are, but ours in South Africa it's 10 grams. So you add that into the flour. I'm simply combining it, and I'm going to add olive oil, and I added about 1.5 ml of water, lukewarm water. So the olive oil that I'm going to be putting is half a cup. I would suggest that when you're making bread, if the recipe calls for 1.5 ml, because I measure my water so that I don't confuse you guys. Please start with 500 ml, add another 500 ml, and add, like, look at your dough. Don't start by adding the entire 1.5, because guys, I think I always say this. I could be adding 1.5 and someone will say, no, that's a lot, and someone will say, no, that was not enough for my dough. Flour, it depends on the flour. There's a whole lot of things that affect how much water you should add in your dough, but that's a topic for another day. We will cover that one day. And again, I'm still going to say this: if you are a sensitive viewer, this is not for you. You don't have to watch this. You can skip this part up until to the part where I am not really touching the dough like this. But this is how I love making my breads, because I can feel how my gluten is developing. I can decide if I want to continue kneading, develop it further, or I'm okay with it. And I'm not going to show the entire process of kneading this dough, because I think in a video that I made, pizza bread, I showed the entire process. And also in the video that the freezer meal videos, I showed the entire process, though it wasn't of good quality. But with this one, you can at least check the pizza bread dough. It's easy. Once I was satisfied with the dough, I took my container, the one that has a lid, and I applied a little bit of olive oil into it so that it doesn't stick. Then I'm going to set it aside while I continue with other things. So we are now going to jump into granola. We're going to be making granola. I'm using rolled oats 2 kg, and there's nothing to it. Again, I also have a granola video that you can check out. I just changed the ingredients here a bit. It's 2 kg rolled oats, half a cup sugar, and 1 tablespoon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon salt, and I mix those together. Make sure that everything is well combined. And you can add, I added a handful of sunflower seeds, not a lot, just a handful. At this point, if you wanted the cinnamon to be a lot more, you can add more. You can add maybe 2 tablespoons. For me, this was okay because I was going to add a lot of things that has their own aroma, and this was okay for me. And I added quarter cup of olive oil into the mixture, and I'm going to add 375 ml of honey. You can add more if you want, but I find 375 ml to be sufficient enough for either 2.5 kg or for 2 kg. And you can also add more oil, or you can add more sugar, but this is my basic granola ingredients. And it doesn't get too sweet, it doesn't get the sugar is not, you won't feel like you need to add more. So it's preference, really, it's choice, honestly. And I added 250 grams of chocolate chips into the mix, and I added 400 grams of cranberry and raisins. Guys, I wanted to buy cranberries only, but it was expensive, and I was like, hell no. Cranberry, a little bit of cranberry and raisins will do for now. I'm not going to pay that amount of money. So this one was reasonable. It was 400 grams and I got it for 52 rand, so I was happy with it. In a clean bowl, I emptied a 400 gram peanut butter into a bowl. Make sure that I scrape everything that is in there, and I added, I would say, about half a cup of golden syrup into the mixture, into the peanut butter, I mean, not the mixture. And I melted them a little bit, 30 seconds each time. I just wanted it creamy. I didn't want it to be watery or anything, because the top part of this granola, I'm hoping to, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just lazy to separate them, but I'm hoping that the top part will soak up the peanut butter and the golden syrup, and I will turn it into, what do we call them? This word just ran away from me. I will turn it into chunks, the brittles. I'm going to press it down and make them into brittles. Why I want them like that? I think it's an easy snack for someone. You can just open a jar and take a couple and snack on that without having to have that with anything, whether milk or yogurt. So the 400 gram peanut butter is not enough for the entire mixture, but wherever it's going to be coated, as I'll be baking it, I will see if I can, the ones that I can turn into a brittle and the one that I can just turn into a normal granola. So I'm going to line my Pyrex dishes, or whatever that we might call them. What is this one called? I know the glass one is Pyrex. The Pyrex is it a casserole? What? That one. So I'm putting a few cups into this, and I am going to press it down into the pan. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to be able to, the reason I've put the 2 baking sheets onto this casserole dish, I'm hoping that it's the correct thing that I'm saying, casserole dish or whatever, is that I can be able to lift it. So that's the only reason. Otherwise, I would not. Baking paper is not I don't like using it for anything other than baking, because it saves me time. Yeah, this one is a Pyrex dish. I know that it's a Pyrex dish. I'm doing the same thing with it, and I'm going to be doing the same thing using the pan as well, and I'm going to bake them for 180 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. It must check on it. This one, the brand that I bought, it's not the same one that I used the other day. So this one was cooking way too quick, like way too quick, and it didn't give me enough time for me to do anything, and the last pan got burned, and I wasn't happy. I was not happy, but we don't throw anything away. We are still going to use it. Maybe it will be part of the snaking what. We will not throw it away. But I was heartbroken a bit, because I don't like my food. I don't like it when my food gets burned. I don't like throwing away anything. This is my dough that I made earlier. As you can see, it's starting to, or it has proofed, and I'm going to beat it down. I did this about 3 times before I could start shaping it and baking it. So I did this 3 times. Basically just to develop more gluten, more than I developed when I was kneading it. So I'm going to be beating it down like this 3 times, and then after I will start baking it. Guys, on days when I cook, this is how my kitchen looks, unfortunately. And you know what, this is reality. This is my life. This is how it is. I'm not going to focus on how my background looks for now. I'm going to focus on what I'm doing, because that's what takes priority at this moment. So this pen is the one that did not get enough peanut butter and golden syrup. So this is the granola that I'm going to use to bake. I don't know what I'm going to bake with. Is that a correct English? I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I will use it to bake. So the rest will be the chunky one will be for snacking and for yogurt and milk. So this is the pen that I was telling you. You see, it's not a lot, so it got baked quicker than I expected, and it got burnt. I was heartbroken, type of a thing. So we are starting on the sweet dough. This is our sweet dough. This is the same dough that you use when you're making croissant, just that you're gonna have to fold in the butter in it. It's 8 cups of cake flour. Make sure that your cup is level. You don't want for your measurement to be off. And then I measured 2 cups of milk. The red cup is half a cup, so it's 2 cups of milk. Again, this is not the entire milk that you're going to be using. You will still need to add a little bit more, but it's okay to just start with 2 cups and 2 teaspoons of flour of salt, and then again 10 grams of yeast. You can do maybe 5 grams if you want, but it's difficult for me to measure yeast, so I just, if it's not less than 4 cups, if it's not 4 cups, I just use the whole 10 grams, and it always turns out okay. And I added half a cup of sugar, and I melted 100 grams of butter, and I beat 2 eggs into the bowl, and I'm going to add that plus the yeast and the egg mixture and start kneading it, or start mixing it. This one, it's I'm making cinnamon rolls, or do we call it cinnamon buns? No, cinnamon rolls with it. As you can see, I just warmed another cup of milk because my dough was dry. So that's basically 3 cups of milk. But again, you will see how that works for you. So 3 cups is 750 mils of milk, right? So we are starting our cinnamon rolls dough, and I should have made more, because as I'm sitting here, almost half of it is finished, and this was supposed to be part of the freezer meal, to the point where I had to scrape whatever that was left, package it, and put it in a freezer, because wow. So yeah, I didn't show you the kneading part because I've already shown you a couple of times how to knead the dough, so I didn't see the need to do that. If you're not sure how your dough should look, please go and check my previous videos. I'm sure you'll find the pizza bread one. I'm sure you'll see how to knead the dough. So these are my chunks, my brittles that I just made from the casserole dish and the Pyrex dish, and from the pan that I pressed down. So you can either break it by hand, or you can use a fork. whichever way works for you. And voila, this is the final result. This is so delicious. I'm telling you guys, try it. It is delicious and it's easy. Don't look at my video and say it's a lot of work, or think that it's a lot. It's not a lot of work. I think it's gonna come across as a lot because I'm doing other things as well. But yo guys, this is delicious. Delicious. Try it. So my dough is ready, and I'm starting to shape my bagels. Um, if you watch this, the entire thing, you'll see that I have shown a couple of ways of how to roll your bagels. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can do, there's another video previous on the same one that I was doing the freezer meal. How many freezer meals do I have? Two videos before this one for freezer meals. Yeah, I've also shown how I roll it there, which is also simple, or you can do the donut method, whichever way suits you. So once that is done and it has proofed a little bit for like 5 to 10 minutes, then we're gonna dunk it into our boiling water and take it out. Once it starts floating, that means it's ready. You can take it and transfer it into a pan that has a cooling rack for the excess water to be drained, and then follow the steps afterwards. It's easy, and it's delicious. It makes delicious sandwiches, and you can just put it into, you can add whatever it is that you want to add into the inside, and then wrap it, individually freeze them on a pan, and then flash freeze them. Then once you're ready to eat, once you want to eat them, you can either take it out of the freezer and put it in a fridge overnight to thaw, or you can just take it straight from the freezer and microwave it for like 30 to 1 minute. And depending on the size, though, these are bigger sizes, and it will be ready. Once the excess water has been drained from the rolls, then you're going to take it and place it in a pan that is lined and brush it with egg wash. You can put sesame seeds, flax seeds, you can put what else can you put? You can put salt, sea salt. You can do sea salt, whatever it is that you want to sprinkle on top, you can actually do that. And it's gonna work it's gonna be fine. Or before, what you can do is that 5 minutes before you take it out of the oven, you can just brush it with butter and garlic and bake it again for 5 minutes, for the remaining 5 minutes, so that your garlic doesn't get burnt, and then it will be ready. That will still be delicious as well. So you can get variety from this. In your dough, you can add sliced olives in there. You can add onion, you can add parsley, you can add cheese, you can add anything you want. So I prefer, you know what, do what you want, but yeah, this is how I did mine. And we're going to bake them for 25 minutes to 30 minutes on 180 degrees or until they're golden brown, and they'll be ready. I'll show you guys in the next video of what I do. This is what I put inside. I don't think I'm going to put anything. This is budget friendly, or should I say this month we are doing budget friendly meals. So I haven't done this in 2 months. The last time I did this was 2 months ago. So this month is on the stingy side, so I'm not gonna put anything fancy. I think I'm just gonna put cheese in there and wrap it up and put it in a freezer. This is another method of shaping your bagels. Quick, simple. I didn't speed it up so that you guys can see, and if you've noticed, I did not speed up this video a lot. Most of my videos I speed them up because I don't want to waste you guys' time, but this one I tried not to speed everything up so that some of the things you guys can be able to see them. The reason I'm doing this, guys, is that I'm trying to cut costs. In honesty, when I have this in my freezer, I don't have to worry about my husband's breakfast or lunch. And since the schools are closed now, my son will be home. You know what, I don't get mommy what's for lunch type of thing or what's for breakfast. He can just choose whatever it is that he wants to eat, and I can focus on other things as well. And I find myself in some majority of the time, I hate being in a position where I am forced to go out and buy food because I didn't prepare anything. Whereas if I do this, it can take me for 3 to 4 days, maximum 5 days cooking. That is like a week out of 2 months, sometimes more, and I save a lot when I do that. It's only a week, and last week was hectic for me. I was busy, and if you can see, I think if you've seen a little bit of the videos that I don't know if it showed, but I was even walking barefoot here because wow. And over the weekend we went home and just went back to my mother's house. There was a funeral. I was on my feet on Friday. I was on my feet from early hours in the morning up until late morning. And prior to that, I was also busy. So my feet were not agreeing with me. I was going this side and they were saying, no, we've done enough. And unfortunately for them, they still have couple more days where I'm going to abuse them. They will just have to get used to it. I'm not going to stop. But yeah, it's been hectic. Hence, I haven't been posting in a while. But we're done until something else comes up. But for now, we're going to be focusing in creating a content. And those of you that I haven't been catching up on your videos, please bear with me. I will catch up. I have videos that I've seen that I would like to watch, but you know what, time is not on my side. Time hasn't been kind to me. Time has been my enemy. But it will be okay. It will be okay. Because of load shedding, I was baking and I was cooking dinner at the same time. I was chasing after time, the new norm in South Africa, because today it's gonna go at 4 p.m. and when it comes back 6 p.m. I think it's too late. I wouldn't want my husband to come home and not have anything to eat. So yeah, I was multitasking on another level. In my previous video, someone suggested that I do a Q&A type of thing. Guys, with me, what you see is what you get. And if you have noticed, I have stayed away from doing sit downs or talking. I just want to start the video and get on with it. I want someone to not have to skip my video because I'm talking too much. I want someone to see my video and watch it. I'm doing it from my point of perspective. If I switch on, if I put in your video, I really want to see what you're doing. If you're saying it's going to be cook and clean with me, that's what I want to see. That's what I'm there for the motivation. Whatever it is that you want to say, I feel like you can say it while you are doing something. So for me, I don't know if there's anything else that I need to answer or something, because I think I've been open enough. I just don't talk about my husband, and I don't talk about other things that I feel like for anyone they are private. But those who know me knows that the fact that I am shooting videos in my house, it's a big deal. I do not, guys, I am the most private person ever. It took a lot out of me to actually bring you guys into my home. I had to prepare myself emotionally for months because this was something that I really wanted to do, but it wasn't easy. So I don't know how I feel. I kind of want to know what is it that people are curious about. But I will say this, if it's about my husband, I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to answer any question. You guys have seen my son. You guys have seen me. You guys have seen my house. I've even taken you to my bedrooms. So for me, that is a big deal. Big deal. So, and one thing that I also wanted to address was that I think as women, we go through a lot in our lives. A lot. We don't need to tear each other down. We don't need to look down on each other. These are my cinnamon rolls. I'm the type of a person that if I say I'm going to support you, I will support you because your name is Pinky and I like you and I like your content. I don't need to know anything else about you. I don't need to know what you do when you go to bed. I don't need to know what you do in your private time. I'm there for the content. And for me, I believe that as women, with the things that we go through in everyday life, that's all we should do for each other. Support each other blindly. If I'm doing something that you like, support that thing. You don't need to know who I am. You don't need to know where I come from. You don't need to know intimate details about me. Just support if you want to. And if you feel like you cannot support if I'm not sharing my intimate details, then my channel is wrong for you, because I'm here to share content, the things that I'm not here to share my personal life. I'm here to share homemaking, anything that has to do with homemaking. And if I kinda get to a point where I feel like, okay, this I can share, obviously there are some things that I'll be sharing there and there, so I will do. But out of curiosity, and if you are still watching up until this far, comment down below with your question, whatever it is that you need to know. But I will tell you that I am not going to answer the questions sitting down. It'll be maybe a cleaning video where I don't have to explain what I'm doing, I don't know, or something, and I'll do it over voiceovers type of a thing. But I'm not going to answer anything pertaining my husband. As I have said, this is my channel and I don't want him involved in this. But if you have any question that you would like to ask, comment down below with your question. I will try to answer as many as I can, depending on the video of that day. But I still say, guys, as women, let's love each other, let's respect each other, let's support each other. If I am not doing you wrong in any way, or anyone, if someone is not doing me any wrong anyway, if I go onto YouTube and I see something that I like that you're doing, you've got a subscriber from me. I don't need to know anything else. I'm just interested in your content. So let's do better, guys. Let's do better. But anyway, these are my cinnamon rolls, and this is how they look. What I was putting inside there, this is from the seed dough that we made. What I was putting inside there was butter, cinnamon, and sugar. That's what I spread on the dough. Nothing fancy. I didn't do the exact measurement, but I could say that first time it was about maybe 100 grams, and I kept adding. And use your own discretion. It depends on how sweet you want yours, how buttery you want them. I did not use margarine. Don't use margarine. Margarine, it's either 50% water or 30% water. You want to use butter, not margarine. Margarine is going to make your cinnamon rolls watery or soggy. You don't need that. So use real butter. You can just Soften it up at room temperature and add sugar and cinnamon and spread into your dough after you have rolled it the way I am rolling it here, and cut it, roll it and cut it. I didn't use any measurement on my is it a cylinder, whatever. I was eyeballing the size. So, but it's important to make sure that all your sizes are equal, because with me on this one, if you should check, I'm actually applying egg wash at the end where I'm rolling, where I'm starting to roll, and at the end of the other side. If you watch this one closely, the middle is slightly bulgy, so that's why some of my cinnamon, some of my rolls like came out and went out of shape. It was because it was thick from where I was rolling it or in the middle. So make sure that when you roll your dough into a rectangle or square, it is of the same inches in thickness, to avoid the ones that pops out, those ones that make sure that they are seen. Yeah, so this is how you make cinnamon rolls, guys. It's easy, nothing hectic, and the truth of the matter is the dough of this, the sweet dough, I mixed it where you saw me stopping. That's where I stopped and let it sit on the side, and it started to raise. Then I started punching it down up until it was soft, and then I took it out of the bowl that it was there, and I kneaded it for about 2 minutes. Then I put it in a container that had a lid. So I didn't do too much into it. It wasn't, I didn't try to make it perfect, but it came out perfect and it was delicious. It's delicious. If you are watching up until this far, please like, subscribe, share. Yeah. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the kindness. May you continue to be blessed. May you take it easy. Take care of yourself. I love you. Mwah. See you on the next one.
For sure.